music is a very precious thing. It's a lesson I've never really learned. Let me tell you about something that happened to me a few years ago. I was in Venice. I was in Venice as a tourist, nothing to do with music, nothing to do with business. I was there with my guidebook and doing all of the things that we should do when we go to such a beautiful, magical place. And I was staying at this little hotel on the Grand Canal, and it had an English name, I remember, because English people are drawn to places with English names. If you'd have called this place the Cock and Bull, it would be full of English people. Anyway, I was staying at this little hotel, and I would come back in the evening, and I'd noticed that there was, fun going on in the bar, with lots of other tourists there. And there was, in the bar of this hotel, there was a karaoke machine. And I had no experience of karaoke, really since, but I was aware of it. And I came back this one night after my walking around Venice with my guidebook, and I came back and I went for a drink in the bar, and I noticed that there was a book from the karaoke machine with all of the songs in it, and there was a Norwegian couple who seemed to be in charge of this book. They'd taken it upon themselves this week to be in charge of the karaoke book. And I overheard the wife saying to the husband, "Oh look, Nights in White Satin." And she said to her husband, "Look, Nights in White, why don't you do that? I like that." And the husband, he said, "No, well, look, My Funny Valentine. It's on the opposite page, Eminem. I like that." Yeah. So, rather rashly, I leaned over to this couple and I said, "Excuse me," I said, "I'll tell you what, to the chap, I said, if you do Nights in White Satin, I'll do My Funny Valentine." It's a song that we've always loved, isn't it? My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with your heart. But what I'd forgotten about My Funny Valentine, and I thought I was doing it rather well, but I would. But what I'd forgotten about My Funny Valentine is that it doesn't have a big finish. So it just kind of ends. It just, each day is Valentine's Day. And I got a polite ripple, from the rest of the bar. Nobody knows who I am. I can walk up on the street now, nobody knows. Nobody knows. In real life, it's only us here. But anyway, I got a polite ripple. And then this chap stood up and he was like, "Right." And he launched into Nights in White Satin. And of course, Nights does have a big finish. And he gave it everything. I have to admit, he gave it the full way, And when he'd finished the top notes, he brought the house down. He went down a complete storm. And he looked at me and he's like, "That's how it's done, pal," he said.